The Way of the Rose, The Radical Path of the Divine Feminine Hidden in the Rosary by Clark Strand and Perdita Finn. This is a fantastic book, folks, an absolutely fantastic book that I've been living with for the past couple of weeks, mostly in the form of the audiobook read by the two authors and their daughter. The reason why I was listening to the audiobook is because I tried to get hold of this hardcover from my local Amazon Poland, but they were saying, yes, no problem, we'll send it to you in 6 months. And so I thought to myself, do you know what, I'll download the audiobook. And then a few minutes in, I realized how important this text is, and so I ordered the book directly from the United States. And I'm so glad that I did, folks. This really is an important text. So this is the premise. What happens when a former Zen Buddhist monk and his feminist wife experience an apparition of the Virgin Mary? And I can tell you that the answer is not that they turn back to stuffy old organized Christianity. And that really is, I think, what I love about this book is that it's written as the experiences, the lived experiences of these two wonderful storytellers. They're both writers, so they have these very, very powerful, very strong experiences, and all of these experiences are described in this book, right? And it's very approachably written. It reads it's so engaging, it's so very, very engaging. The outcome is that they don't then turn to Catholicism and start, Bible bashing and saying, hey, you have to all go to church and pray the Rosary. On the contrary, their whole point is to reclaim the Rosary from the organized Christian faiths, especially the Catholic faith, I suppose, and look into the history of the Rosary and where it came from and what form it took before it was co-opted by the Catholic Church, and how we can once again make use of the Rosary as a way of approaching the Divine Feminine. I actually wrote a little pamphlet a few months ago that is available on Amazon just as a cheap pamphlet. It's like a couple of bucks, called The Heretic's Rosary, in which I approach the Divine Feminine under the guise of 10 different identities of 10 different goddesses, and Mary is one of those identities, and so it's fascinating for me to read it black on white over here, in the appendix. Let me see. In the appendix, they give Appendix A. They give the original prayers, because actually you can find it in the grade page here. If I just there we go. The grade out page is just here. You can actually find their suggested version of the prayers, and you can see that they've removed the word Jesus from "Blessed is the fruit of thy womb." Because Jesus is I suppose you could think of Jesus as a personification of the fruit of the womb of the goddess, right? So it's much bigger than just Jesus of Nazareth. And then Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us, simply, not pray for us sinners. So that weight, that kind of Catholic guilt weight, is removed from the prayer. But towards the end, as I say, there are these appendices, and in Appendix A, they give the original prayer. But I love this little paragraph here. The maiden, so hidden in the familiar words of the Hail Mary, is an ancient presence that the poet Robert Graves called the triple goddess, a female trinity of maiden, mother and crone. Maiden is the Virgin Mary when the angel arrives to say, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. The mother is embodied in the words, Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. And then the crone is her aspect as Queen of the Dead. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. This kind of drawing parallels between what remains in the Rosary and just generally the Divine Feminine, pervade through the book, and it's just a joy to read. It's just it's so nice. Some of you may have seen the video that I made very early in the series of Esoteric Saturday videos that I made about a very strange occurrence happening to me. You know, the whole taxi situation. If you haven't seen that video, I'll try to remember to link it in the description. And it's a bit of a yarn, but it kind of describes the reasons why I got into magic and religion in the first place in such a strong way, because I had a life experience that just really turned the whole world upside down for me, and I kind of describe it in that video. Well, this is a book full of those kinds of experiences described in very immediate, very engaging ways, and then the research that these two authors then go into to give some kind of background, to attempt to work out the history behind the workings of the Rosary, and other people who have been in similar situations, and just it's a wonderful experience, folks. It's just such a refreshing, enjoyable read. It's not okay, for those of you who are used to reading academic books, it doesn't read like that at all. This is much more of a very relaxed, enjoyable read that speaks to your emotions much more than it speaks to the bibliography or end notes, or just simply the academic within you, right? So do be aware of that. If you're looking for like a history of the Rosary, you'll find it in here, but you may not be the kind of person that this book is aimed at. However, if you are looking for just some human experiences that attempt to reclaim the power of the Divine Feminine, then you will get a history of the Rosary as a secondary effect, as a side effect, if that makes sense. Here is a picture of the two authors. There we go. They've written several other books, all of which look quite exciting, actually. They look quite interesting. I'm going to say that in terms of the structure of the book, guys, this is surprisingly nice. I wasn't expecting this for a mass-produced book. Of course, you know, it is a mass-produced book, and so the paper is exactly what you'd expect from a mass-produced book. But you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's reflected in the price, which is affordable and nice. But you know, they are Smithsonian signatures, right there. You can see, with head and tail bands. It's quite basic, but it's nevertheless a significant step up from many hardcovers that I come across nowadays, at least mass market, right, hardcovers, which is cool. And then this dust cover is lovely. It's the exact texture that I like from a dust cover. The inside is shiny, which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It kind of prevents rubbing on the book itself, so I'm very happy with that. As long as the outside isn't shiny, I'm a happy man. And the outside is not shiny. The outside is this lovely satin texture. It feels just lovely under your fingers. It's perfect. It's like a sensory experience, the way the Rosary is a sensory experience, right? Okay, there we go. That's pretty much what I've got for you guys today. I strongly recommend the book. I actually recommend it in audiobook format if you've got some long commutes the way I do at the moment. Then I really recommend the audiobook. It's very beautifully read out by the authors. I tend to like it when the authors read their own stuff, because you can hear the emotion in their voices as they're talking about things that have actually happened to them. It's not an act. It's direct felt experience, and that's a lovely thing to experience. But yes, the book itself is lovely, and I really recommend it. Yeah, it does have a lot of end notes, which will delight the academics amongst you, and a significant bibliography as well, which you can see in the end over here. That's it. That's what I got for you for today. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe down below if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care. Bye.